She was 23. 23, I say, now what do you make of that? He said it were an accident, a momentary lapse of judgment. Monday to Friday, he'd be in London, we'd agreed, and at the weekends he'd be home with me. It was what his writing needed, good for his profile within the industry. To give him his due, he did come back at the weekends to begin with. To begin with he did, yeah, like we'd agreed. But then he started networking. That's what they call it, isn't it? Networking with some very unsavoury characters, if you ask me. Met a couple of them of myself. They weren't to my taste. Very flamboyant. He said he found them exciting. Felt they helped kindle his creative fire. And I knew, at that moment, none of this was going to end very well. All that poetry and stuff, it's no good for folk. He started talking funny, posh-like, as soon as he'd moved down there. He'd answer the telephone and I wouldn't recognise him. Fancy that. The man I married. And now, that same man, ashamed to be seen with his own wife. But it's not me, who has allowed themselves to be taken over by sin and vice. Oh, it's not me. I won't go into too much detail, but let it suffice for me to tell you that in that particular industry, homosexuality is rife, rampant, maybe even contagious. Now, it's not for me to judge others. I'm all for equality and human rights. But in my house, and this is my house, we have particular standards, abide by certain morals in life. What goes on in the city is no concern of mine. Except, of course, when the man I married, the man I used to share a bed with every single night, has without a shadow of a doubt completely lost his mind. I suppose it came as something of a relief when she was at least a she, a woman, a girl. You know, the heterosexual kind of betrayal. Because between you and me, I don't think I would have coped had she not been. They always said our Billy was a bit like that. Wore his trousers too tight. Was oversensitive. That kind of thing. Suppose we'll never know now. Probably for the best. Know what happened to him like. Nobody deserves that. But I don't think he would have led a happy life. It were an accident, he says. I was drunk. I said, you can't have been that drunk. And he can't have been. Because, well, you know, I know. And you know what he says? He says, she was 23. Well, I smashed 3 plates that night.